All right. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Plant Powered Dad Hour. My name's Cory. This is Izzy. We'll tell you about her in a second. But this guy, this guy over here, this is Plant-Based Gabriel. What's going on, man?
Hey, just enjoying life. We've had a little bit of cooler weather here. No frosts, but today's nice and warm. It's about 20 degrees Celsius. So for our friends on the same side of the pond as us, that's about 70.
Okay, 70 degrees. Not bad. It's been pretty nice. I must say the weather is pretty nice.
It was really weird because it was like super duper hot, and then one day it was just really cold, and then I think the next day it got like a tad bit colder, and then now it's like in like the cool spot.
Well said, Izzy. It was hot, and then it got cold, and then it got cold again. Yes, well said. Good. So yeah, guys, we are here. We are just two dads here. As you can see, I've got my girl with me. We're two dads, and we're here to help you to understand that a plant-based diet is really not that big of a deal. And quite honestly, one of the only things we can find at this current time when we are recording this is the things that we need to be eating. The potatoes of the world, the rices of the world, the beans of the world, the corns. They're all there.
Eating a lot of potatoes.
A lot of potatoes. And
grilled potatoes.
That's not a bad thing. Dr. McDougall would be very proud of us, Gabriel. So
yes.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
It is. It is. And so I thought, we've got a couple other episodes, guys. Check us out over, of course, our Facebook page. You can catch us streaming on iTunes on the Lean Green Dad podcast. And before we get into this, I want to let you know, we have resources for you. There are things that you can find, okay? You can go to Gabriel's website, plantbasedgabriel.com. You can check out his YouTube channel. There's just tons of recipes. We talked about nice cream last week, and it's one of my absolute favorites that he does. And on the Lean Green Dad side, and Gabriel's book. Don't forget Gabriel's book. Plant-Based Diet for Beginners. Give it a plug, Gabriel.
Oh, well, it's on Amazon, the bestseller. It's the handbook I wish I would have had as I was transitioning myself and my family to a plant-based diet. So it's very expensive. It's only for the rich of the rich. So if you have $10, I know $10, but pick it up. It's for everybody. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, and we know. We want to give you lots of options, okay? And so while I'm working on my ebook that I publish in Amazon, right now I'm just going to give the first one I wrote away for free. So I've got two options for you. And this is fancy, okay? This is fancy. You can text 55444 with the word EAT, and we can send you a copy of my plant-based recipe book for free. It'll just come to you. All you got to do is do that. So I am going to post that up here. Check this out, Gabriel. Look at this feature.
I see that. I see that. That's nice.
Yeah. So text the word. You just text 55444 with the word EAT. You text the word EAT. I think I should reverse that. Text the word EAT to 55444, right? And we'll send you a free ebook.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyways, that's a little plug. Those are the shameless plugs. But now
there's one more thing. And right now we're going live. And Cory, I think you're planning on releasing some things here that are going to be really helpful to some families.
Aw, dude, that's so nice of you. Yes, so I did this thing called the Plant-Based Parenting Summit. I did about 37 interviews with some of the top plant-based experts in the world, including Dr. McDougall, Rip Esselstyn, Plant-Based Gabriel. I did a bunch of interviews with some of my favorite peeps. And I used to sell that for $40 or something along those lines. And I'm just going to give it all away for free because we're consuming a lot of content. We can't really leave our houses. And I really want you guys to experience that content. So I'm going to be releasing that over on my Facebook page. 2 a week, I think, is pretty good. They're 30-minute interviews, kind of like ours. So it's
highly recommended. I would highly recommend that. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So Cory, who is this you have next to you today?
This is my firstborn child, Isabel. And she is a 4th-generation Isabel, and she's super special to me, as all of my kids are. But she is a 11-year-old woman, and I say woman because I feel like, dang, 11 years is all of a sudden they're a woman. She's ready to go. She dances 5 nights a week, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. She's a competitive dancer, and I don't need to give you a bio. I just love her. I love her so much. She's the best thing ever. So you share a little bit about you, and then we'll talk about plant-based stuff for people.
So obviously, as my dad said, I've been dancing for like 7 or 8 years, to be honest, at the same studio, and it really is my passion. I really love it. This break is definitely hard, but at the same time, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because I feel like I have a lot more time with my family to kind of just like, have family dinners again, like at the table, like maybe like there's not really much to talk about for like, how was your day today? But yeah, we just kind of like play games and just kind of have fun. And it's really nice. I'm not saying that I don't miss going to do all my curricular activities in school and stuff, but it is kind of nice to have a break where I can actually like have some family time.
Yeah, no, it is. It is nice to be around the family. And we're going to talk in a minute kind of about, Gabriel's never had the chance to speak with you one-on-one. So I think there's going to be a couple things that Gabriel and I are going to uncover that, probably just being honest here, like our family might not be 100% like perfect as far as like being plant perfect.
Well, nobody is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. This guy right here is.
I guess.
Okay. Do you know Gabriel's story?
No.
Oh man, Gabriel, you got to share a little bit of your story with Izzy. And there's some other people that might not know your full story. So I'd love, just give us the quick and dirty.
Yeah, so Jessica's tuned in from Michigan. Thanks for tuning in, Jessica. Woo-hoo! But I was a college football player at the University of Nebraska. I was a starting long snapper there, and ended up breaking my back and found myself 100 pounds overweight coming out of a 6.5-hour back surgery, and realized that something needed to change. And at the same time, I was a livestock production major, basically meaning that I was getting a 4-year degree in learning how to breed, feed, fatten, slaughter, slice, and serve every animal that old MacDonald ever dreamed of. Not something I'm proud of, but something that's part of my past. And so I was looking for a way to lose the weight without being able to exercise, and tried all the different fad diets, animal-based diets, but luckily found my way to a healthy, whole food, plant-based diet. And over the course of around 2 years, lost 100 pounds. Then got my family on board. My mom lost, I think, 60 pounds. Dad's down 70. My sister's down 60. I have cousins and friends that have lost hundreds of pounds. And now I, again, wrote the book on the plant-based diet that I followed. And then now I'm here. I'm married to my wife, Dr. Miller, and we have our baby Bridget, who's turned 3 months old. And we have, so we live here on a 1-acre vegan vegetable farm, and
that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are his plants behind him. He took a big picture of them and just kind of put them up behind him as his background.
That is a good idea. That is not true though, but
yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. All right. So I want to talk about the transition, and like, Gabriel and I talk about this all the time. I mean, our kids are at different ages. Obviously I have 3. He has 1. It's just starting off on her life. She's starting from, the very beginning with the healthy plant-based diet. And, it wasn't that way with you.
Nope.
You were born in 2008. And in 2008, it was not time for us we had not discovered what we needed to discover, and made the decision in the full transition over to a plant-based diet. So, we would still go to, I don't know, have the grilled barbecue chicken and stuff like that with our family. I mean, you're 3 though. Do you really remember eating bacon and stuff like that?
Okay, so there's one thing that I always remember about being, well, not always remember, but like something that I remember from back then. We used to go to Firehouse Subs, and I remember that I got it was like a meatball sub. And there was always a pickle on the side, and I would always make my mom eat the pickle. Okay. I always remember that. I don't know why.
Okay. Well,
the one bit of plant that was on that sub was you weren't a fan of.
No.
Yeah, it's the truth. But I don't think that it. I mean, we just didn't know. We didn't know, So I think if you were to have that same meatball sub now, what would you? How would you supplement that? And I guess the real question is like, it's so hard because you were 3, but like, do you miss it? Do you feel like you're missing out on anything?
No, not at all. Because honestly, like you said, it was so long ago that I don't ever think about, oh, I wish I could just have meat again. Like, I don't really ever think about that. It's just the things that are to me now, like the Gardein and like all the substitutes are really all that I need. Like, I don't think about this is a meat substitute. It's just meat to me. It's just not obviously it's not me, but like obviously like
it serves the same purpose for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for us, the biggest thing was like getting together with our family, right? Like that's the thing that was the biggest impact on us. And Gabriel and I have kind of talked about this, but how do you feel like, I don't know, how do you feel like Grandma and Grandpa handled it at first? I think you definitely remember some of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
We have both grandmas, both grandpas on either side of me and Mommy's family. Like, how was that transition? Like, what was that about?
I do feel like it was a shock to my grandparents. I think one set was more astonished than the other. And also because to my family, it's like obviously big holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we all get together and stuff. And like that was kind of like the traditional meals was just like green bean casserole with the creamy mushroom like sauce in it. And I do think it was a little bit kind of crazy at first to them. It was kind of like, oh, but you're missing out on all this stuff. I think that it's been so long now that they've kind of grown to just kind of like accept that we're vegan, and they don't ever say like, oh my gosh, I wish you guys weren't vegan. Like they don't ever like down it. I feel like it was kind of crazy to them at first though. But then one of my grandparents, as I said, it's always surprising, but now we make like cakes together, and like she really likes, my grandma really likes to like experiment with stuff. And I feel that now knowing that we're vegan, it's kind of sees like an opportunity to be like, oh my God, I get to try new stuff.
Yeah.
And so now I can make new vegan cakes and give them to them and stuff. And she finds new crazy things all the time that we're like, whoa.
It's cute. I mean, parents have a hard time. Did your parents, Gabriel, have a hard time like at the beginning, like knowing what was vegan and what's not? Like, do you have friends that all the time look at things and be like, hey, is this vegan? You're like, come on, just read the back.
Oh, I have friends too.
Oh yeah. There's but you think about it, we're all in different stages, and as silly as it seems now for someone to ask, well, are eggs vegan, or is milk vegan? All these things, and but we were in their shoes. I'm sure of it. And beyond that, it's just if they're asking the question, then hopefully they're thinking about it in a good way to say, maybe they're internalizing the thing that, oh, I mean, I could do this, or what foods could I eat if I made that choice?
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. And guys, as you're watching, I mean, if you're watching on the replay, please feel free to leave a comment. We'll absolutely respond. And if you are watching live and you have a question for Izzy, feel free to ask it. I am watching the comments. Gabriel and I both are, and we're happy to help you. Yeah, we do.
We've got Jessica from Michigan, and we've got another someone on Facebook from Ireland who's going to be having that awesome talk with their 16-month-old about their choices and why they matter. That's an important talk. It is. Yeah. It is.
Gabriel, do you have any questions for Izzy? I'm sure you might have one burning question. I mean, this is your future, man. 11 years from now, you've got a full-grown woman here.
Oh, you said one burning question. Is there a question that you think I should ask before I ask any? Because I feel like you have a question that you're wanting me to ask that I don't want to not ask.
No, I'm a little scared, quite hononestly. I don't know what she's going to say. I haven't prepped her. I haven't talked to her about anything, and I might be in trouble here after this episode.
No. I think what would be really helpful to everyone to know is because just to give you a little backstory, Izzy, I was the biggest hater of vegans, right? I back in high school and college, I can still very vividly remember times when I would make fun of someone who wasn't eating meat at the table. I would pick them out. I was horrible, bully. And so I guess from my point of view, I see how terrible that was. But how is it, as you are someone, you're kind of a leader in the plant-based community, especially at your school and in your dance classes and all these different things, where I'm sure you have snacks at your different classes and people notice, and at school, at lunch. So how do you deal with the people that may be naysayers? And then on top of that, how do you utilize the platforms that you have to help others understand why eating a plant-based diet is helpful and why they should possibly do it as well?
So I will definitely say at school there definitely are not a lot of people, at least at the school that I went to, that were vegan. And there were definitely people that were naysayers. And
you don't have to project. You're so loud. I love you so much.
I'm sorry.
She's so loud. I love her so much. She's projecting right in my ear. I'm just asking her to please just keep her voice down a little bit. My ears are sensitive too. So sensitive.
I think Cory, your ears are more sensitive than the mic because it doesn't sound bad on our end.
Okay, that's good. That's all I need to know. My ears are very vegan.
You're projecting too, mister.
Sensitive. He's got sensitive ears. They bruise easily. Yeah.
All right, go. Continue with your story.
But at school, I've just kind of let it not affect me. Like, you can't ever take anything people say by offense. Because, like you said, like, not a lot of people know about it, and not a lot of people understand. Now it's not even a problem. Now nobody really asks me because it's been about 5 years with the same people, and they've kind of just gotten used to it. And what I always say is it's a choice. Like, I never say, oh, I can't eat that. Or if I do say it, I'll be like, oh, I can't eat that, but it's a choice. Like, whenever people ask me why I'm vegan, because there are people that do ask me, I never say, oh, it's because my parents make me and I can't eat anything. I can't, like, eat ice cream. I can't eat pizza. I'm always like, no, my parents did initially make that choice. Obviously, they would be mad if I did, like, eat a whole non-vegan pizza while I was at school or something.
Would we be mad, though? Is mad the correct word?
Mad's not the right word. You would respect that it's my choice, but you would not support that choice.
I'd be disappointed.
Yeah. But, like if I'm at a birthday party, like, they don't say, well, obviously, they don't want me to eat cake, but, like, if I'm at a party and I want to eat cake, and I go eat the cake, they're not going to, like, down me about eating the cake because I made that choice.
That's the question here, right?
That's a big question we're getting here, Izzy, and we've covered it in previous episodes, is if you're at a party, do you eat the cake or do you not eat the cake if there's no other choices? And do you feel left out given those scenarios? That's kind of the theme of a lot of questions it looks like we're getting here too.
I'm going to be completely honest. I do, well, a while ago, like, especially in elementary school, I did feel a little bit, quote unquote, left out because it was like, I'm not eating the food that everyone else is eating. But, and like you asked, like, do I eat the cake or do I not eat the cake? Now I don't usually eat the cake at parties. One, because I don't like it because I haven't eaten it in so long and it just tastes weird. And two, I don't really have a need. If I think about it, is the cake gonna do anything for me? Like, is it gonna benefit me at all? No. It might make me feel like, I'm not gonna say it's gonna make me feel normal because being vegan doesn't mean that you're different from everyone else. It just means that the choices that you make are different. But no, now I don't really eat cake. Sometimes I'll get a pizza and I'll rip off the cheese and I'll just eat the bread with sauce just so that it kind of, sometimes I'm actually hungry. But, like, now, no, I don't really eat things at parties like cake and pizza or anything. Most of the places that I am now, everybody knows that I'm vegan, and sometimes teachers will bring, like, Oreos or something that is vegan to parties and stuff. Sometimes I'll even bring my own thing. But I don't really feel left out. It is sort of hard to watch everybody else eat what you kind of, like, are not eating, so it's kind of different. But I would not say that I feel left out because I could, if I really, really wanted to, I could.
Yeah, you're just making a choice, like, you know, you making a conscious decision to not be a part of that. And a couple of things. I know Jessica's asking. Looks like there's some other questions about there. I'll just say this. We've covered in other topics, and just so that everybody knows, right? If you're going to a party, and it sounds like your dad does this, Izzy, but if you're a parent, right? If you've got a 14-year-old, like it looks like we had there, and you're worried about your children feeling left out or not being a part of the group, then you as the parent can pretty much go ahead and just make some cupcakes or bring something along. If you know that there's going to be something there, it's just like an allergy. It's very similar to say you had a child who has an allergy and you didn't want them to feel left out. Well, as the parent, you're probably going to bring something so that everybody can enjoy, right? So there's other options there. It's not black and white. I just want that to be put across so everybody understands, like, if you have a child who's eating a plant-based diet, it's not black and white where they're going to go to a party and they're going to starve, or right.
Yeah.
You as the adult can bring something. And a lot of times, if it's just like Izzy said, people know her preferences in eating and what she chooses to eat and what she chooses not to eat. So there's a good chance that there's going to be something there that you can eat anyways. And if not, you hope, you probably brought something there. So there's that. And here's another thing that I just think, especially as we've had some parents talking about kind of having those talks with their children about important decisions and feeling left out, there'd be a couple things. You kind of have, as a parent and someone who had to make that decision as the child, right? If you're going to feel left out because you're not doing the same thing everybody else is, then I think we have to think about, what are we raising? Are we raising a leader or a follower? And I know it's tough to talk to a 7-year-old about. I want you to be a leader, but what you're instilling in your children, right? You as a parent could be leading by bringing those extra things, or you could be talking about, hey, this is why we make these decisions, and this is why you may not want to make that decision on eating that. And so those are things to think about. And then just the last thing on top of it is this. Izzy is not the adult right now, right? Cory's the adult. I'm the adult in the family. And as much as our kids want to do this and that, having a piece of cake or having this or that at a party, is that going to kill them? No. But if their party with classmates is anything like their classroom, and they're like every school in America right now, 30 to 40% of those people attending the party are going to be overweight, and they're under 15. All right. These are not grown children. These are overweight, obese, type 2 diabetic, ready children who are going to be eating the cookies, the cake, and the ice cream. And so we all have to make decisions. Are we going to, and that's just, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I think those are just things that you should be thinking about, and to say, am I more worried about my kid feeling left out, or am I more worried about them being healthy, not hooked up to a machine, in and out of hospitals from their 30s to 70s?
Yeah. And guys, there's things that I've done. I've changed the rewards system, right? They used to give away lollipops. I would go and put healthy snacks in there, even if they were granola bars, something like that didn't have much sugar or sweeteners and all that kind of garbage.
Like the school baskets?
Yeah, the reward baskets.
Yeah.
So we changed those. The other thing I like to say, and we've said in previous episodes, is, find the other vegan teacher. I'll bet you there's one or two other vegan teachers at your school, right?
Oh, I know my French
Who was it?
teacher,
Give me your name. What's their names?
Madame Mohammed was the French teacher. And I remember, so what me and my friends would do in elementary school is, after the honor roll ceremony, they would have donuts, and we would get like 5 donuts, and we would all bring them, and we would deliver them to all of our teachers.
These are real donuts that you had to deliver?
Yeah, I delivered them because I knew that the teachers weren't vegan, and so I gave them, we would give muffins and donuts and stuff to the teachers. And I remember going into Madame Mohammed's room and giving her a donut, and she goes, "Oh, I can't eat that, I'm vegan." And I was like, "I'm vegan too." And then we both had a hug, "Oh my goodness, we need to go eat together sometime."
Yeah.
All of that.
Well, and then the third thing that you were talking about, I kind of call it waving your vegan flag, wave it proudly, not waving it in people's faces, but wave it proudly. And we've talked about that, right? So, you represent the entire vegan community, the plant-based community, whatever you want to say, and you represent it in a positive way, and you just do your thing. Just do your thing. And look, middle school's hard. Middle school is really, really tough. And if she had not built up this, this kid has crazy confidence, And like, if she had not built up this confidence in elementary school, it would be a little bit different. And so it might be a little more difficult in middle school for her to take on some of the negativity. But quite honestly, this kid's a little bit of a different kid in the sense that you could be like, hey, you're stupid because you eat a vegan diet. You don't eat any meat or eggs. Like, that's stupid. She'd be like, okay, cool. Like, that's your problem. Have a nice day. Right. Most kids would come home and cry. And so I want to be very sensitive to that and know, like, as parents, you can absolutely support them and talk to them with that mixture of education and parental marketing. Right. And I think as long as you're doing that. Yeah. Parental marketing. Like, what happens when I tell Parker to eat his broccoli? After he eats his broccoli, like, what happens?
Like,
what happens to him? He turns into who?
Oh, Hulk.
Yeah, so he turns into Hulk.
All right, now he's obsessed with Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong on Mario Party, and is like he will literally like walk around like I'm a monkey, and we're like, okay.
The kid is always shirtless, and he's always flexing his muscles, and he's got a crazy 6-pack of abs. Like, this kid, he's 4 years old.
Runs into doors to be funny.
And it's nuts too, because he's like me. Like, I'm a little crazy and a little weird, and so he'll just be like, I'll be like, bro, dude, did you just eat all your broccoli? Like, way to go, show me those muscles. And he'll be like, oh, look at this, Dad. Ah. And I'm just like, oh, crazy kid. All right, this is our life.
No, I think those were great answers, Izzy. I think that's helpful to our viewers as well to know. I always say this: the best offense that we have in any scenario, and we talk about almost every episode, is being prepared. Right? Cory you've done a great job in preparing Izzy to be able to be right. You probably think about this, but if you don't, Izzy. The amount of vegans that we have in the population are plant-based eaters. There's a good chance that you're the only vegan that your classmates may ever meet, let alone may meet for the next 2 decades. And so you have a lot of responsibility there, not a tough responsibility, but the responsibility, right? You have the ability to really be a beacon for this way of eating, for the animals, for the planet, for the health, right? And that's what I think is important, that it's not I don't know. I get asked all the time. I still have buddies. I've got guys playing in the NFL that reach out. Oh, you still not eating meat? You still not? I'm like, well, sure, I'm not eating that, but think about the things that I'm getting to do, right? I lost 100 pounds. Now I can go bike riding. Now I can actually play with my daughter instead of being bedridden with a broken. I get to do all these things, and I get to eat tasty whole plant foods. And so. There's just different paradigms. There's different ways to look at it. And Izzy, I think you're looking at it amazingly. And that's a big help to our viewers, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, any other burning questions you might have there, Gabriel, for little Izzy before we sign off and
well, you had a few things in the post. What were those 3 questions? I just want to make sure that we got those because those were important.
Oh, yeah. Let me get back to it. I've got to be able to see it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, what does she eat? Ooh, that's a good one. All right, what do you eat?
Yes.
Like, what's your daily thing? What do you eat on a daily basis?
Okay, so I really like quesadillas, vegan quesadillas. I eat a lot of those.
What's in your quesadilla?
I usually put beans and cheese, but my dad a long time ago.
Wait. We need to clarify. What kind of cheese? What kind of beans?
Okay, I eat Daya cheese.
Okay.
And I use Amy's. I think it's like a black bean.
I think it's just a refried. Yeah.
Refried. And then I remember a long time ago, you made. It was sort of a quesadilla. It was kind of like the one that we got at Leguminati's.
Talking about that like crunch wrap?
Yeah, like he put like Gardein meat crumbles, Daya cheese, the refried beans, and then he put like onions, tomatoes, lettuce, like all that stuff, and it was really good.
Guacamole, yes.
People always think when somebody says like I'm vegan, like, oh my goodness, you must be like super like you eat everything that's like greens and but like people don't think about the fact that there is junk food that's vegan.
See, there we go, bro. There it is. There it is.
We ask Izzy what she's eating in the Warren household, and it's not greens. It's just vegan junk food.
There's quesadillas and vegan junk food.
No, I'm just saying
killing me, kid.
But it's not all.
Stop. Do you listen to me? Do you eat fresh fruit?
Yes.
Do you eat greens?
Yes.
What type of greens do you eat?
Broccoli, lettuce.
What kind of lettuce?
Oh, certainly just iceberg.
Yeah.
She doesn't know the difference between romaine and iceberg. How dare you? Spinach. What do you put in the minestrone soup? Spinach.
I think Izzy was getting at, I'm sure you get asked a lot, Izzy. Oh, you can't eat this and that. I think you were getting to, and I could be wrong, but it sounds like you were getting to the fact that you really do get to eat everything that your friends are eating, just in a vegan version, right? And
it's healthier too.
It's a little bit healthier because it's not animal protein, but for the most part, you want to be getting your food from fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, beans.
Yes.
Well, here and let me. I'll finish us up with a. And if you have anything to finish, but I'll finish up what we had for lunch today. We had a bean burger that I had frozen in the freezer, ready to go. So these bean burgers are my 3-2-1 bean burgers. Very simple to make, very easy to make. I feel like I'm Bernie Sanders. Very simple to make. Very free for everyone. Bean burgers. There are 3 cups of cooked brown rice, 3 cups of cooked beans, 2 cups of cooked brown rice, and 1 cup of oats, quick cooking oats or rolled oats, mixed together with a 4th cup of sauce and a few seasonings like garlic powder and onion powder, mashed together, formed into patties. You could bake them, you can grill them, you can air fry them right away, or you can put those patties in the freezer. And we keep always in the freezer. So I had them in the freezer there, ready to go. We had that. We had some. We had that. We had with some pickles and with some jalapenos, some lettuce, and some barbecue sauce. And so a more whole plant food option, but also one that is familiar to people, right? A burger that's familiar to people. What was that question there? We have, have to go as dinner is ready since it's, well, have a good dinner. Have a good dinner.
She's an island.
Greens.
She's an island. Yeah. Okay. And what were you going to say?
I wanted to say what we had for lunch today. We actually had, it was like
potatoes.
Oh yeah. We had potatoes and spaghetti with tomato sauce, but I wanted to say that last night we actually had, it was rice. I think it was, she put like sour cream in it, I think. And then it was like sauteed onions and mushrooms.
Okay.
And she put it all together. And me, my dad, my mom, and Julia, we all ate that. And then the boys had just rice and beans.
Yeah.
Because they're picky.
They are picky. If you got a picky kid, rice and beans always does the trick. Always does the trick.
1,000 versions.
Really
Yeah.
It was really good.
Anyways.
That sounds tasty.
There you go. We do not add fake meat to every single meal. No, we do not eat tons of vegan junk food. But darn it, last night we had ice cream night, and it was what we call a celebratory meal, as Gabriel likes to call it. And we had some
ice cream, so delicious.
Coconut ice cream, so delicious, laden with sugar, and then we covered it with some crushed Oreos. But it was
whipped cream.
Oh, Lord.
Coconut whipped cream.
It just keeps getting better, Cory.
It's a celebration. It's a
what we had for dinner, and we also have dessert. So we have dessert every single night. I don't think I could go to bed without my wife, Dr. Miller, kind of poking and prodding me, saying, "Where's dessert? Where's dessert?" And so I make a easy chocolate mug cake, which I actually don't make it in I don't make it in a mug all the time. I'll actually make it in just a glass baking dish, because it kind of turns into like a little piece of cake instead of a mug, and we don't have a microwave. And so I cook it in our little toaster oven, and then put a little nice cream on top, or mix together some peanut butter and put a little peanut butter and soy milk as a little bit of a frosting. But that's there's a lot of options out there. And I think that's what we've really gotten at today's episode, that on the outset, for people that aren't plant-based or vegan, it might seem like, whoa, you're going through school and you're doing all these things and you have to worry about what you're eating. Where really what I think we've gotten to is it's not that hard. And especially, the earlier you start, the more adaptive you are to it, and confidence definitely helps, Izzy. I'm sure you get that from someone sitting to your right. You if you have those things, it's not that hard. It's a simple thing to do, and it's beneficial. And we're talking with one of the next world class, right, dancers, actors. So we're it's definitely doing the body good, I'm sure. So it sounds like you have quite the activity load. Sounds like back in my football days, practice and living. It sounds like you are probably working harder than I was. I would bet you are.
I don't know. Collegiate athletes, dude. Division I collegiate athletes are no joke. But yeah, I agree, man. I think that the truth is, guys, I'm not perfect. I am perfect when it comes to being vegan, but I am not perfect when it comes to 100% plant-based. And I've said this before. Me personally, 90% of the food that I eat is 100% plant-based. But I do have the occasional Beyond Burger. I do have the occasional ice cream. My kids are probably 50% whole food plant-based.
Wait, so Gardein isn't whole food plant-based?
That's correct, Isabel.
What? What?
Whole food plant-based would be real food. Like
that
apple.
should be the title.
Wait, what is
Gardein?
Gardein's not whole food plant-based.
No. I thought it was.
Get out of here. Is it made from beans?
It's made from soybeans.
It's another episode.
Yeah.
Another episode.
We'll break it down to you another episode. Yeah.
We will. We will break it down. Maybe we'll have you back. We'll see. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. You can find Gabriel and I on our plant-based on our Plant Power Dad Hour Facebook page, plantpowerdadhour.com. And of course, you can find me and Gabriel all over. Remember, go get a copy of Gabriel's book. And if you want my book, just text EAT to 55444 and I'll send it to you. Or heck, just comment here and I'll just make sure that I send it to you. Okay. Gabriel, anything else, man?
Hey, this was fun. Thanks for tuning in with us, Izzy.
Yep.